Welcome to the PowerSport Institute Fundamentals of Carburation. Carburetors turn liquid fuel and air into a mist, called atomization. Mixture of air and fuel is called the air-fuel ratio. It is said that a 14:1 air-fuel mixture is ideal. There's a lot to know about carburation. This video covers the basics of how the fuel gets from the float bowl to the engine. Let's get started. Just a few things to remember. As airspeed increases, pressure decreases. High pressure always rushes to low pressure. Pressure is lower in the venturi area of the carburetor. The float must be properly vented to atmospheric pressure. This allows fuel in the float bowl to be pushed up towards the venturi through the jets. Keep in mind, as we increase velocity, the pressure decreases. So as fuel starts entering the float bowl from the fuel tank through a needle and seat in the float bowl, the atmospheric pressure difference pushes the fuel up the jets into the venturi and then into the engine. So, as we put on our X-ray glasses, we're going to look into a carburetor. This is a great illustration of how fuel flows through the carburetor. Now, take a look as fuel starts entering the float bowl through the needle and seat. It enters the carburetor. The pressure differences from the vent pushes the fuel up the jets into the venturi, which is then on its way to the engine. Looking right down the middle of the carburetor into the venturi, you can actually see the fuel and the air mixing, and the mixture was 14.7 to 1 depending on jets and airflow. As you change throttle positions, this will allow either less or more fuel. A great illustration of this, let's take a look. Keep an eye on the arrow as we work the throttle. You can see as the throttle's wide open, we're getting a lot more fuel and air moving towards the engine. The idea here is to have the proper jets and airflow to equal that 14.1 ratio. 14 parts of air, 1 part of fuel running towards the engine. As we get a little closer look, you can see the carburetor is not a pump, it's just working off pressure differences. As we increase the speed by opening or closing the throttle in the venturi area, more fuel is pushed up from the float bowl into the venturi and on its way to the engine. As the fuel runs up the jets, it is also mixed from an air bleed that allows a little extra air mixture with the fuel to begin the atomization process. So as we work the throttle, you can see inside of the venturi that the throttle will actually restrict the area of flow of air, which will increase and decrease the pressure in the venturi area. So that's kind of how the basics of carburation works, is creating that pressure difference. It's important that you have proper jetting and proper airflow to have a smooth running engine. Need any more information on carburation? Please contact the PowerSport Institute at psi-now.com. Hope you enjoyed the video.